And finally, on today's show, we shine our spotlight on the Disney animated series Iwaju, a Nigerian-themed animation created by Disney and Africa media platform Kugali. Iwaju is set in a futuristic Lagos, Nigeria, and narrates the coming-of-age tale that tracks the journey of Tola, a young girl from the wealthy island, and her best friend, Kole, a self-taught tech expert, as they uncover the secrets and perils concealed in their contrasting worlds. The creators of the animation, founders of the Kugali company, Hamid Ibrahim, Tolu Oluwofoyeko, and Olufikayo Zikiadeola, talk about the creative process that took 5 years from their first pitch to Walt Disney. Hear them.
Creator of the animation Iwaju and co-CEO of Kugali company, Olufikayo Zikiadeola, says the story of Iwaju emerged from his experience while he lived in Lagos. Now an immigrant living in London, it is important for him to share the reality of Lagos with the people in the diaspora.
So as a storyteller, I really wanted to create a world that was true to Lagos and 100% authentic. And, you know, some of the themes that you touched upon, the inequality, some of the more harsher realities of Lagos, they're part of the experience. You know, I didn't want to shy away from some of these harsher realities because I think it would be inauthentic to just tell a story that only showed the good side. So I like to tell stories that challenge people.
Oh, we're going to be late.
Lagos traffic is no respecter of persons.
Describing his directorial input with Disney Plus as a baptism of fire, he highlights his challenges while creating the animated television series Iwaju.
Wow!
Well, it was incredibly challenging. I sometimes describe it as a baptism of fire because I was thrown straight into the deep end. But it didn't come from a negative place. It's because the people at Disney generally believed in me and believed in my abilities, and so I was really grateful for that. But I had to learn a significant amount in a relatively short period of time. The support I received was very instrumental in allowing me to make that adaptation. And actually the work I did with comic books actually gave me a really solid foundation, because comic books is storytelling with art. Animation is storytelling with art. Of course there's some differences, but the foundational qualities of storytelling remain the same.
Co-founder of Kugali and co-creator of Iwaju, Hamid Ibrahim, who was born in Uganda, says he had thought the stories he heard about Lagos were exaggerated, but he is delighted to discover how energetic the city is. He says it was important to him for the full range of skin tones in Lagos to be properly represented on the animated characters.
The Iwaju creation wild process is one of the most fun I've had, because I changed the philosophical approach in terms of how I wanted to build the sci-fi world here. Because usually people would see it's a sci-fi world, they'll be like, okay, these are the sci-fi tropes, this is a place, we're going to try and weave them together. I did not want to go with that approach. I was very distinct. I told Tolwanzik I was very distinct, where I wanted to be, okay, this is Lagos. What would the featurized version of that be? And the reason is because from the beginning of this project, I wanted to be a love letter to Lagos, Nigeria. I wanted to maintain the soul. And if you're weaving in things from outside in, you dilute it a little bit. So for example we are giving is, the only reason we have flying cars in this world is because if you're rich and you see that Lagos traffic and you can fly over it, you're going to fly over that Lagos traffic. It just makes sense. And then a reaction to that, Lagos has a lot of audacity and passion. The people there have that passion and they're very creative. So if all the rich people are up in the air, naturally, the people who are hawking on the streets, they're going to find a way to get to them. That's why we have the drones. So that's the whole approach of building this world. We're very practical and very Lagos, and I hope we maintain the soul of Lagos, which we've been doing very well, so I'm very happy about that.
This is so cool.
You never go mainland before? Even the airport?
Daddy says it's dangerous, but you know me, I laugh in the face of danger.
I didn't hear you laugh.
The entertainment industry in Nigeria is currently experiencing a lot of change and growth. Creators of Iwaju, Ziki and Hamid, believe that Iwaju, being the first Nigerian-created animation on a global platform, will give more room for the growth of the animation creative sector in Nigeria and by extension Africa.
I think this is a bold first step in kind of breaking a mold, because the problem we have in the industry is lack of funding. And I've spoken to a lot of people who fund stuff, and the reason they do not fund is the stuff is not good enough for them to fund. They think it's not going to be good enough. So it's almost like a chicken and egg problem, where there's no funding because they think it's not good, but it's not good because there's no funding. And Iwaju kind of breaks that mold and shown that Africa can make astonishingly good things.
This is the first time that an animation from Nigeria is going to reach such a global stage, and I think this is the beginning, the same way that Afrobeats blew up from 2012 till today, and now is one of the greatest genres. I think people are going to look at African animation as the cornerstone, or one of the cornerstones of world-class animation.
Also, a founder of the Kugali company and producer of the series, Tolu Oluwofuyeko, shares that it took about 5 years to create the Iwaju series after pitching to Walt Disney+.
It takes about 5 years to produce something like this. So when we pitched this was a while ago. So it's just, we were just telling a story set in Lagos, but it had to be believable. There are types of stories you would tell, and depending on the setting, it no longer makes sense. But in a specific setting, certain stories make sense. So everything about the storyline, obviously there has to be a villain. There has to be a villain. And what is the villain going to do? What danger is he going to pose? If we said the villain was, I don't know, a secret agent trying to take over the world or something, it won't make sense in our context. So, but a villain whose mode of operation is kidnapping within the context of a story set in Lagos, that actually makes sense. We don't have one single thing that we hope people take away, like this is the moral of the story, or this is what we're trying to say. First and foremost, it's entertainment. I grew up watching anime, which is from Japan. I grew up watching superhero cartoons from the US. And as much as the different ones would have different villains and different stories and perhaps different themes they are trying to portray, we wouldn't have watched them if they were not entertaining. If the quality was not good, we would not even have watched it in the first place. So first of all, the primary thing is good quality visual storytelling. Are people going to enjoy? Are they going to be able to escape from their real life worries and just be entertained for the 2 hours they spend with us? And then after that, they can also decide to pick up on whatever themes they notice. Because what we've noticed, while we did have certain themes in the story, many people pick different things from it, depending on where they are coming from in their own life. But the core themes of our story are innocence versus experience. You see the main character, Tola, is an innocent young girl who is aspirational because she sees the world how it's supposed to be, how she wants it to be, rather than how it actually is. She doesn't see it as, oh, this is the houseboy, so I should not relate with him. She sees it as, this is a human being that I can befriend. Why can't I be friends with him? Why are you trying to stop me from being friends? Why are you trying to stop me from going to this place? She's aspirational. So innocence versus experience is one of our core themes. Challenging the status quo is another core theme. Hedonic adaptation, because both Tunde and Bode grew up in less privileged circumstances but have become a bit wealthier, and they've adjusted to their new reality. They've almost lost touch with where they're coming from, which is what you call hedonic adaptation. People get used to the new level they attain and sometimes forget where they are coming from. And another theme is just the class divide, which is exemplified in Lagos itself as a city, because Lagos has a physical body of water separating the, let me say, the upper class from the middle and lower class.
Christine Camara of the Walt Disney Company encourages Nigerians to watch the space for more collaborations with Walt Disney as work is in process.
And watch the space, we're working on plans. But these things do take time, and when we launch in a market, we want to make sure we're thoughtful and we do it right and we get everything working. So yes, watch this space.
Where's my daughter? She's your responsibility. Find her. Be careful, oh.
Our key focus now really is to launch Iwaju and to celebrate this great piece of storytelling. And, I think this is a very unique collaboration between the Walt Disney Animation Studios and, for the first time, working with a Nigerian team of filmmakers and storytellers. But it's not the first time we've done that. I mean, we've just recently launched another series called Kizazi Moto Generation Fire, which is a 10-part anthology of short films made by filmmakers from across the continent. And it recently won Best Limited Series at the Annie Awards. So this is where we're getting some momentum here in working with different types of filmmakers in different parts of the continent. So who knows where this will go to, but it's part of a journey that we're on here.
Tola, I got you now.
Iwaju, the animation series, will air on Disney Plus and on the Disney channels across the African continent.
Go!
That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. For more entertaining scoops like this one, you know what to do. Follow us quickly right now on all handles scrolling right now on your screen. Yes, one simple click will take you where you need to be. I am Iwaju, and I cannot wait to see you soon.